All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alan with the Contractor School, and I am here today with Rene Garcia. He went through our program. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but his business is Tritek Services, and he does plumbing, heating, and air, correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. Now, I got to meet Rene when he first came to our school, and one of the things that impressed me about Rene was he'd been working for these companies all over the Southern Cal area and earned a variety of certifications that he completed. Tell us a little bit about some of those certifications, because you came in pretty educated.
Yeah, I actually started at Los Angeles Tritek College. My boss wanted to make sure growing up that whatever he taught me, that I knew it by the book. And that was something that stuck with me the whole time.
Okay.
I started in 1993 with him, right when we had the Northridge earthquake, and that's when I got the call. I had been scrubbing him, saying, "Hey, I'm working at the hardware store. I want to be able to get involved in the plumbing industry." And when that Northridge earthquake hit, it shook California pretty well.
Yeah.
And I got the phone call. And,
Wow.
He was one of the ones that was my bigger mentor that made me go in there and make sure that whatever I learned by the book.
Wow, that's great. I noticed that when you came to our school, you were already really knowledgeable. I mean, you asked some of the most interesting questions about plumbing, even challenged in some of the curriculum because you have been doing it for so long and been so thoroughly trained that I was really impressed. And so it seems like to me, and you can answer this, you're pretty passionate about what you do, right?
I would say so. I mean, a lot of people say that. I mean, I think if you're going to be all in on something, you want to make sure it's something you're passionate about. So, yeah, I am passionate about my industry.
Yeah.
And I think, to touch on, knowledgeable, yes. By the time I got my license, I had already been in the business, I believe, 25 years.
Wow.
And the thing of it is with the economy in 2008 and different things going on in my life, the timing just wasn't right.
Okay.
But I studied some of the Fortune 300 companies out there and worked for them. And I worked for some of the best in the industry. I mean, I worked for a company in San Diego where we were a national company, and our company was pretty much setting the standards for our company nationally. Yeah. And that was one of the things that I took with me, because everywhere you are, everything you're doing, and every minute out there, if you're passionate, you're gonna look and find the things that are gonna stick with you, benefit you, because you're gonna want to know those things down the road.
Yeah.
And if not, seek clarification.
Yeah, no, that's good advice. One of the things I noticed when you came to our school, because we didn't know each other before you came to my school. We actually met there. And I was impressed by your tenacity for studying to pass, to get your license and all that kind of stuff. And because of that, you're the only plumber and HVAC person that I've actually used on my personal projects. You've done my father-in-law's house. You took care of his air conditioning. You've taken care of several of my families from my cousins and that kind of stuff, and you've always taken care of them. So I want to ask you a little bit about your secret sauce. Like when it comes to growing your business, because now you got a couple of trucks, you've been growing, things are going well for you. What is your secret sauce in the sense of what makes your business different and makes it grow?
Well, I think it's the same like most businesses. It's going to boil down to customer service. Yeah. Doing work that's not legal or to code is not customer service. Yeah. So when you're doing things right and you're out there and you're providing the customer great service, then it's just going to trickle down like everybody knows, word of mouth. And, I've been in the industry for a little over 30 years now, and I would say 85-90% of my business is word of mouth. Oh, that's and I've grown to 3 trucks with just word of mouth, and I've dabbled a little bit to try to understand some of the marketing side of things, and a lot of that dabbling was me trying to get a feel of what it's actually like out there and understand, what I'm up against when I'm hiring in a marketing company. Sure. I think that at the end of the day, good customer service, taking care of your customers, doing the simple things that a CSR would do for you, calling your customer, letting them know you're on your way. Just the simple little things.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed about you, you're very communicative. You text, you call, you appreciate when people that you're working with do the same thing for you. You take care of each other. We won't go into great detail or give any names, but we had an interesting conversation. You were once in a doctor's office, and the doctor showed up late, and the nurse is just like, oh, you can reschedule, but this was already a reschedule of a schedule.
Correct.
And they just let you sit there, didn't communicate to you, didn't talk to you, didn't tell you what's up, didn't even tell you when the doctor's going to be in. How did that make you feel?
Well, I mean, after I woke up, because they put me in the room and said the doctor would be right in, I put my phone down about 15 minutes later thinking, okay, I thought I heard his voice. Yeah. But I woke up and I'm thinking, Jesus, where's the doctor at? I mean, they didn't leave me in the waiting room and said he's not going to be here for an hour. They put me in the back room. And typically something like that, it's standard procedure. You wait for the doctor. But you know what? If the doctor's 30, 45 minutes late, you go in there and you let your customer know. You say, hey, by the way, and I would expect that. Like you said, I expect the same thing. I'm a customer service-related guy. So when they hadn't said anything to me, I thought it was kind of strange. So when I walked out there and I questioned them, I says, hey, you know what, by the way, is the doctor even here? They says, no, the doctor's not here. I says, well, I'm in here sleeping. Yeah. I could have hung out in the waiting room, Yeah. Her comment to me was, you can reschedule. And I just thought, wow, I'm not going to let her ruin my day. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to see the doctor because it's important to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made the appointment. Yeah. And I was able to eventually see the doctor, and I didn't say anything to him, but I just made sure he answered all my questions and kind of closed the door. But at the same time, I apologize because I had no, I know we were meeting, but, the extent to which you went through to put together this meeting with your crew is disappointing. And, I mean, that's part of the thing that people don't get. When you're not communicating to that customer, he can't have that conference call in his office. He can't, jump in the car and go run some errands that he needs to do while he's waiting for you 3 or 4 hours. Because sometimes, traffic is traffic, parts, you have to run around for parts in this industry. Yeah. And if you're not being, if you're not communicating this to your customer, then absolutely, you can easily rub somebody wrong. And, what ends up happening is, you get the job done and, you better hope everything goes right because he's probably still going to mention that,
exactly. And some people don't know the ripple effect. So this was just an interesting illustration because a lot of times contractors are hurt in their business. They lose word of mouth. They lose referrals because they're not good at communicating. I always talk to the contractors and I tell them this, hey, you want to know if you're a good communicator? Ask your wife. If she says you're a good communicator, if not, you better work on it because it's going to help your business and your industry. And so what was interesting is when they did that and they didn't communicate well, and it's all industries. This is like a doctor. This is a place of business, right? And they didn't communicate well with you. Well, you missed your appointments, which caused them to eat a cost because they're paying their staff waiting for you, but you're just waiting on the doctor. And the doctor doesn't, probably, we don't know if he doesn't even know, or and the secretaries don't care. They like, oh, you can just reschedule. And you're like, just trying to do your thing and just have things work out. And it would have been resolved easily if they would have just simply said, hey, the doctor's running late. We just talked to him. He's on his way. Do you want to stick around? We're here for you. We want to help you. And that's the way we need to be as client, as a business, and how we need to treat our clients. And that's what I appreciate because in all the years I've seen you working and watched you since you've graduated our school, you have taken care of your client. You've communicated, sometimes even over communication. You text, but you're really striving to do that. And I think that says a lot about your business.
I believe in my cores, and that's, when you're out there and you're with your customers, whether they're potential customers, or they're repeat customers, it all boils down to quality, value, and personal service.
It's good.
They want you to communicate with them personally. And we didn't have that, 12, 15 years ago. You know, nobody was texting the customer saying, I'm going to be 10, 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
They waited for the office to call.
Yeah.
And that was the office's job, technically. But nowadays, you know what? The customer prefers hearing it from the technician, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, this is Rene, your service technician. You know, we're running a little bit behind schedule here, but we do have a new window for you. Is this going to work? I mean, you know, we apologize. I mean, if you can do that, you're going to keep your customer happy. You know, quality goes without saying. You know, you want to be able to show up with all the right parts, all the right tools. You want to be show up with all the right experience, because that adds quality to the job. Because if you show up there and you got the broken tools, and you're a 1 year, 2 year guy who's thrown into a journeyman situation, you know, the customer's getting no quality. They're paying double for you to learn on the job. And that's something that, you know, as a person who does plumbing, heating, and air conditioning, you know, a lot of people will do, you know, electric or plumbing or painting, but they know a little bit to get by. And that was never what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be able to know that I was 100% official, a journeyman plumber and a journeyman HVAC technician and installer, because I wanted to be able to provide them 100% quality service and nothing under that.
I love that you're saying quality. Now let's go a little deeper on that for a minute, because you're speaking about quality in your tools and quality in your service. What would you say about quality in your truck when it shows up and how that looks, quality in your attire? Speak on that for a second. How important do you think that is?
Well, that's the first thing they see. You know, all contractors have been to, you know, sales training like I have. You know, I've been to national sales training seminars. Like I said, I work with the Fortune 300 company, and, you know, we learned, you know, that, you know, the first thing they see is you when they open up that door.
Exactly.
The first thing nowadays they see is your truck, because that's what's pulling up, and everybody has a camera. You know, and one of the things that I recently went to is, you know, for such a small company is, you know, providing me and my crew uniforms. Because, yes, you know, we have a T-shirt that might say Tritek Services, but, you know, we want to be able to say, hey, you know what, Alan is showing up, your service technician, you know, he'll be there at such and such time, and if you have any questions, call us, for instance. Okay, well, when they knock on that door, and you knock on that door and they open up the door, they see Tritek Services, and then they see Alan. Right then and there, they set all their guards down. And it's not like, oh, they set their guards down, whatever. They feel comfortable knowing that the right guy showed up at the right time, and he's got the right company, so they want to invite you into the house. If you show up and you're not identified with a company or as a person, you're just a serviceman without a uniform, then you're showing up to someone's door, and they're going to have to question you because they want to make sure you're the right person.
They're thinking, this could be sketchy. Who is this person?
These days, you know? So being able to identify yourself when you show up is huge. And I think, like, one of the things I learned years ago is, you know, your truck's got to be clean. Your truck's got to be neat. You can't have coffee cups on your dashboard like some of these old school plumbers. I mean, I'm an old school plumber.
They come in looking like chaos.
I mean, I started in '93. Okay, that's an old school plumber. But I saw a lot of guys that started last year, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, even before me, and for some reason they think their dashboard is their trash can. And they're driving down the street, and they're trying to figure out, oh, where's that pin at? And you pull up to the customer's house, and they say, wow, man, this guy's going to come in here, and he's going to make a mess all over. He's going to, you know, he's going to come in here, and is he going to take care of my stuff? That's why, you know, with the uniforms, we provide carpets so that we can lay down in your kitchen floor and in your work area and be able to set our tools on there so we're not scuffing anything up, you know, and just, you know, make sure that we're nice and protective and respectful of their property.
It's good. You know, we say, a lot of people, I hear this, you know, well, hey, well, don't judge the book by the cover. But I actually own a publishing company, and everybody judges the book by the cover. In fact, they buy the book because of the cover, especially if they don't know the author. And so when you design a great cover, it sells over all the other books. And here's the thing. When they show up in that truck, and it looks like a mess and it's a disaster. And they're thinking, wow, I'm going to get that kind of quality in my house. So it's important. That's why I wanted to hone down on that, because I noticed that your trucks are wrapped. They look beautiful. They got Tritek services across it. The logo design is just killer. It's bright. It's good. People see that. It can be a brand that can be built and expanded across the U.S. if that's the direction you want to go. But then at the same time, it says quality to the client. And then you show up, you look good, you smell good. I remember those commercials. I don't know if you remember them. It says the smell good plumber, right? Because plumbers tend to be the ones who, hey, I'm just going to be frank with you. Clients, one of the biggest complaints about plumbers is they're showing crack and they stink. You know what I mean? And the thing is, they don't want that in their house. So you go in there, you tuck a T-shirt in under your shirt. You have your nice shirt on. You bend over. They see a T-shirt. That's all they see. You're good, right? You smell good. Your words are good. You're not in the house with kids cussing up a storm because there's kids in the house, right? You're respectful of the environment because you're there to take care of the client, not just make money for yourself. It should be a win-win, right?
Yeah, you got to be mindful. A lot of the times, I see people like other contractors when, the gardener's there or the roofer's there, or I'm not picking on gardeners or anybody like that, but I'm just saying is they're over here, we're over there, and I can just hear them, this is, after this and this, that, the other.
Yeah.
They're out there smoking, throwing their cigarette butts out on the driveway.
Yeah.
So I think, that there just kind of hurts their image,
Yeah.
But the other thing is you talked about the good smell plumber and all that other stuff. Yeah, I mean, they're watching everything you do, and they're paying attention because they want to know that you're mindful, and they want to know that they don't have to babysit you, that they can trust you at their house.
Yeah.
And, I feel great because 90% of the time my customers are like, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't be there.
Yeah.
But you can have the keys to my house, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
That there is huge.
When you go in to service a house, when it's plumbing, it's during the day, or it's even HVAC, who are you dealing with the most as a client? The female of the home or the male?
Both.
But who would you say if there was more?
If there's anything anybody can learn out there, is both.
It's both. Definitely it's both. But when you show up at a house,
whoever answers the door.
Whoever's the answer door.
I talk to the husband on the phone. When I get there, the wife is in charge.
Yeah. Well, I just remember when I used to do cabinetry, and when I would go into the house, usually the wife's at home with her there all day long. So I'm usually working with the wife and needing to make sure that I'm presenting myself and my business in a way that would make her feel comfortable, because she usually has little kids there. And I know that traditionally things have changed a lot in our country, but I would notice that usually was the wife at home. So
that's exactly what I just said. I talk to the husband on the phone. I get to the house, the wife is there, because that's usually the case. Like you said, usually the wife is stay at home, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is even though the husband's not there, and you can spin the wheels, you can talk to the wife on the phone, but the husband's going to be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because what I did was I said, hey, Ellen, here's the situation. This is what you can expect from me. You want me to show up, and now I'm at the house.
Yeah.
The wife is saying yes, or the husband for that matter.
Yeah.
Everybody's on board except for the person that I initiated the phone call with, see? Yeah. And for me, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, they had questions. They're not just going to allow you to come out to the house. They're going to say, hey, I have a problem. These are my concerns. Can you address these concerns my way? Yes, I can. Yeah. Can I come to your house, right? Yeah. So they're awarding you the work. Yeah. They can give it to anybody else, So in my opinion, every time I get a job, I feel like the customers trusted me and awarded me with their business,
That's
right?
Great. Yeah.
So when I go in there and I'm in that process and I've already looked at everything and I'm saying this is what it is, you have to stop. And if you can learn anything, is stop, pick up the phone and call the person, or make sure that the wife initiates the phone call with the husband, or the husband double checks with the wife and say, hey, now that we got all this straight,
they're collaborating.
I want you to know that I did explain this portion of the job to your wife or husband, but it's actually changed a little bit. And I want to know their expectations are going to be a little bit different than what I'm going to provide, so that everybody's on the same page. And when they come home or when they call you, there's not a, hey, stop right there, because that's not what you mentioned to me on the phone. And that right there it puts a lot of value to the job right there. You know, the wife said, man, I'm glad my husband called me. Oh, yeah, Rene had me call you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's good. In fact, I want to take a second and just kind of recap a couple of things before I ask you another question, because I want to kind of talk to my contractors that are listening. Because, again, we are here doing this podcast with Tritek Services, who's plumbing, heating, and air. And just a few things that I wanted to tap on that he says. Number one, communication's vital with the male and the female, the people who own the home, taking care of that, looking good, having great quality, not only in your work, but in your equipment, in your communication, in your tone of voice, in your language, in your dress, attire, all those things. You brought up that sometimes you'll see contractors out there just smoking up a storm, throwing their cigarette butts on the grass or in their yard and all that kind of stuff. Then they come in the house, they have little kids, they smell like cigarettes, and the wife's just thinking, oh, this guy stinks, I'm never going to use him again. And reality is, you said earlier that a lot of your jobs are repeat customers because you took care of them so much. You built this reputation, and now you're getting referrals and repeats, because you only get leads three ways. You only get leads, referrals, and repeats. And let me say this real quick. And the crazy thing is, last year, 83.9% of contractors failed or went bankrupt in the United States of America because they're not taking care of their client and they're not doing good quality work. Now, go ahead, add on what you're going to say.
So, going back to the smoking and being good and all that other stuff, you got to remember, we're contractors. Mm-hmm. Okay, plumbing, roofing, HVAC, we're all contractors, and the perception is, oh, great, I have a contractor coming over, move this, put that away, cover this, cover that. But you know what, guys? It boils down to this. It doesn't hurt to be professional. Yeah. All you have to do is go out there and just think outside the box.
Yeah.
Why do you want to come in here and act like you're a contractor and it's okay to smoke and it's okay to cuss, when it is when you're out there on a new construction job and it's just you and your other fellow plumber? Yeah. You're in someone's house, like you mentioned, with the family and the kids and stuff. So all you have to do is take the time out and readjust your demeanor.
Yeah.
And say, hey, you know what? We're going into this property, guys. You, no smoking, no cussing. Let's get in here. Let's show them who we are. Let's make a good impression.
Yeah.
You go in there. You don't have to worry about cussing. You have to worry about smoking, this and that. The guy smokes. Yeah. He goes down to the sidewalk, takes a left, and goes out about 20, 30 feet. Yeah. Sits there, have a quick smoke break. I mean, that's a different thing. Sure, that's okay. I mean, I've allowed that before, but it does not hurt for contractors to say we can do better.
Yes.
The difference is do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to make a difference? Do you want to stand out? And do you want your company to go and get a repeat customer, or do you want to just be that customer? Because a lot of people are one-stop shop where they go to the customer,
never see him again.
They fix the problem, and they never see him again.
Yeah, because the person doesn't want to invite him back. And the thing is then contractors are like, it's hard.
How do you grow?
Yeah, but contractors are like, it's tough. It's hard to make money out here. But if you're going there dressed like a slob, looking poorly and not getting referrals and repeats, and now you want to make more money and you complain about that the jobs aren't paying well enough, well then how about let's level up? Because I'm a personal believer that contractors should be paid well. And I think that there is a great money to be made in construction. But if we don't level up in our life, how can we expect clients want to pay us more when we look like slobs who don't do quality work, don't take care of them? We take care of ourselves first. I think that there are clients out there, because I've had many of large-scale clients that they want me because of my professionalism, because of my quality, and they're willing to pay more. I was literally at a job of this lady, self-made multimillionaire in the wine country of Temecula, and I brought in the greatest, classiest presentation of all the contractors. That's her words. And so out of all these contractors that are bidding her job, it was so far for me to go, I literally tripled the cost because I didn't want to do the job. And if she did take me to do the job, she was going to pay me super well. At the end, she goes, you know what? I'm choosing you. I go, oh, really? I was a little bit dumbfounded because I raised the price because I didn't want to go that far. And if I did, I needed it to take care of all that. And I go, well, what made you do that? She goes, your presentation was just the best. Your quality, you look good. And I would rather pay for quality than just these guys who are showing up with smelly, stinky, bad-looking truck, or a truck that's just completely dirty with debris in the back of their truck that's just piling out because they're not organized, coffee cups in the windows, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. She's like, I choose you because the quality that you presented was so good. And I go, you didn't, so my price is okay. She's like, yeah, I mean, you're higher than everybody else, but I want quality. It's like everybody knows that you can buy a Pinto, if you're old enough to know what a Pinto is, maybe a Fiat nowadays, right? Or you go buy a Lamborghini. If you can buy a Lamborghini and afford it, you're not going to take the Lamborghini to a ma pa shop working out of their garage in the poor city in your community. Say, here, fix my Lamborghini. No, if you can afford a Lamborghini, you're taking it to the guy who specializes in Lamborghini because you want good quality work, right? And so I think that's the same thing that you're saying, that if you provide quality, you're going to get repeats, you're going to get referrals, you're going to make more money, people are going to pay you better because you're bringing a presentation, a branding. We call it in our marketing advertising company that we own, the BAM, branding, advertising, and marketing. You got to bring the BAM if you're going to get and win stuff over. So,
One thing you mentioned was, plumbers going out of business and stuff like that, Yeah. I don't forget what the percentage was, but here's the thing is, you got to remember, if I were to guess, and I don't know the statistics, I would guess that 80% of them companies that went out of business are new construction companies that do either new construction or renovation.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they have no service skills.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's a problem because if you want to survive, you're going to have to. There's so many times that I talk to my union buddies, and they get paid great, but they have sometimes off and on, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
And they make great money.
Yeah.
But every single one of them has had time off when I've been working.
Yeah.
Since I started my business in 2018, I haven't had a day off that I didn't work.
That's great, man. That's great.
And these guys could be the same way, but you have to be able to bend.
Yeah.
If you're saying this is new construction, this is the way I do my job, this is when I show up, and this is how it's going to be, and you're not saying, hey, can I come at this time? Will this work for you? And is it okay if I can do this and help this process work a little bit better so that it's convenient for everybody? Then you're not communicating, you're not adding quality, and you're not adding value to the job.
No, I love that. In fact, for you guys that are listening here and you're listening to our podcast, I just want to kind of throw this out there to you guys. One of the things about my contracting school that I like about our school, I'm always trying to level it up, always making it better. There's always room to constantly make your business better. You're going to always find problems. You listen to your clients, you listen to your staff, and you constantly make it better. But one of the things that we did is I obviously have graduated several thousand. It's up to 8,000 contractors in our schools now. That are across Southern California.
I count for 2.
Yeah. But one of the things I did is I own a variety of other companies because I'm a serial entrepreneur, and one of them is called Rock Solid Asset Partners, and we buy homes and fix and flip them. I want to use good quality contractors. That's why I recently sent you to one of my partners in that business to go take care of his personal house, and you did a good job, and you took care of it, and because I want to be able to use you on our fix and flips as we span across America buying homes and doing that. And so one of the benefits of working with our school is I don't want to just be one and done. You come to my school, you're done, you're out, and voila, we got our money from you and peace. I want to be a resource in your life so that you can be a part of my fix and flips. I also built another website called Home Pro Works that when you're licensed and you went through our school, you get listed there. And then we have hoteliers, restaurateurs calling us, the city, I need a contractor. Go onto my website, set up your dashboard. It's free. You can find contractors who went through my school. They're gonna help you out. They'll take care of you and that kind of stuff. And so just all the energies that we go through, plus when the people go to our website, they can get a construction project management course to fine-tune their skill and ability. They can get certified in construction project management so they can continually level up. So let me ask you this question. When it comes to plumbing and HVAC and all the things you're dealing with, how important is it for you to constantly be learning as the industry changes? How important is that?
Well, that goes without saying. I mean, the new construction contractors can learn and keep up with the recent changes to make themselves better, just like I can.
Yeah.
So basically, for me as a business owner, the trade is under the books. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. The 2 licenses it's all history. Yeah. But what's new to me is in the last 5 years, I've been wearing 5, 6 other hats, and it's been enjoyable because I'm learning a little bit about marketing. I'm learning a little bit about management. I'm learning all these different things, putting my fleet together. I've sat with designers to get my logo and doing all this other stuff, which prepares me for future advertising, But it's great because if you learn one thing and stop there, that's the end of your road. Yeah. And if you can be open-minded and continue to keep up with the changes and understand the trends that the industry is going through, and when I say industry, I mean the world at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's the whole economy is going fast and then slowing down, crawling and then speeding up, and you got to stick up with those trends. You got to be able to understand them and know where your marketing's at because you could still be living in the past and you could be missing out, or you could be putting yourself out of a lot of work.
Yes. I noticed that if you do the BAM, the branding, the advertising, the marketing, you do it well, you provide good quality work, you take care of your clients as if it's your own home, you service them, you genuinely want to provide them with good quality work, that even in a downturn, things can go okay with you. Now, we're in an industry that's very interesting, and you may not know this if you're listening to us right now. America has a 6.4 million home deficit. That means in order to house everybody in America, we need to build 6.4 million more homes. So even if the economy drops, if you've built your business and you take care of your client and you have good word of mouth, how do you know you're a good business? You constantly have clients calling you back up and taking care of other stuff of theirs. Just as you alluded to, if you're a contractor that never gets callbacks, probably because you suck. Or you're just not providing the right kind of quality service to them. And so maybe you're more about you than them. And it needs to be about them to take care of them. And you're going to make great money. So
customer first. Right?
Customer first. That really does affect it. So if we do have an economic downturn, I'm not an economist. I listen to a lot of people. They say we're going to go through another one of those maybe in 2024. Who knows? That's all up in the air. I do know this, though. If you're a contractor, you get your branding. You got your shirt like Tritek Services. Looks good. Looks excellent. Your presentation looks great. You provide quality work, and you're going to capitalize on that because you're going to win, because even when there's a downturn, plumbing is going to need to be fixed. Electrical is going to be fixed. There's going to need people that service their homes. Think about this. When you went to school, whatever you went, they usually build up the Great Depression as it was some huge bad thing in America. And it was bad, 24% unemployment rate. But wait a minute. Let's think of the positive side for a minute. That means 76% still worked a full-time job. They're still getting their houses fixed. They're still buying stuff. They're still buying groceries. They're still doing stuff. It wasn't as bad as the books make it out to be, because people still became filthy, stinking rich in construction and other industries during the Great Depression, because people built the BAM, their branding, their advertising, their marketing, and they took care of their client. They serviced their client. They put them first, and they made their presentation, you use the word, and I love this word, professional. We're not just contractors who just got out of school and we have nothing else to do, and so we go there and show up as slobs because we're handy and we can fix some junk, right? We go there because we're passionate about our business. That's what I loved about you when I saw you in school. You were passionate about learning what you needed to learn. You want to do good quality work. You want to take care of your client, and it has benefited you because you have constant repeat work.
And a lot of these things that you put together, we talked about showing up on time, talked about doing great work and all this other stuff. It's kind of like in the 60s. I mean, who had a contract, right?
Yeah.
Who had a contract?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You go up there, hey, Bob, I need this fixed. All right, it's done. What do I owe you? You know what I mean? Just the old school way of doing business, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, 50% of my business is like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, I'm a contractor. Yes, I have contractors. Yes, I want to make sure that I get a approval before I go and all that stuff. But I have so many customers that they understand and they appreciate what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
That I'm not just a plumber.
Yeah.
I'm their personal plumber that they refer to all their friends and family. And let me tell you something. That's why all my business, like 80% or more of my business is repeat business, because I provide that personal service. And you know what? Let's face it. You have to be able to educate yourself to be able to do the communicating, because sometimes it's not easy. Because I only got a million different personalities that I got to deal with every day. Yeah. And you can't deal with one and the other the same way. You know what I mean? You just have to understand their needs and wants.
Exactly.
And that's where you make your changes to try to say, hey, yeah, I get what he wants, and I can make that bend, and I can understand where they're coming from. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Burger King. Just have it your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Is that what they say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I saw that. And so that's why, like, for example, when
I get paid for that Burger King.
there you go. When you serviced my father-in-law and my cousin, I didn't have to go out there and check on you. You went out there, you took care of them, and they're happy. You went away. If they needed something checked on, you would go take care of them because
walking through the door, they were already comfortable.
Yeah, they were already comfortable. And so you make them feel good. And that's a good testament to how people need to run their business. Do you make people feel good? And we're going to have more podcasts on all these other topics. We'll dive deeper on them. I'm not going to do that here in today's podcast. We just want to be able to make sure through these series of podcasts that we do that you as a contractor that are listening right now, you're going to get good quality advice from seasoned contractors of all different trades. We'll have all different trades in here. But even if it's not your particular trade, there's something for you to learn from each one of us, whether it's marketing or service or quality or even the technicalities of stuff. So I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you taking care of the projects I've had you work on, and I've seen the quality of your business. That's why I invited you to be here. What would be maybe a couple minutes of a piece of advice that you would just say to contractors that are just out there, they're grinding, they're trying to make it. What would you say to them?
Well, first off, and when I say I don't appreciate your business, we appreciate your business. Because I have a team, and without you, there's no we. You know what I mean? So we appreciate your business. And for all you out there, all I got to say is don't give up.
Exactly.
Just don't give up, because at the end of the day, all you're going to do is start all over on something different when you've already exerted all your energy into one process.
Yeah.
And, for me,
I love that.
A lot of people think that Rome wasn't built overnight. They used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
You're not building no company overnight. You know, I mean, I've been building mine for 5 years.
Yeah.
Some people tend to build it a little bit different. Some people have a little bit of investors that help them build it, and some build it homegrown, like me. I'm a homegrown guy. Mine's going to grow as fast as I want it to grow, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to be able to control everything that's growing at a pace that is conceivable.
Yeah.
So don't give up.
I love that. So I'm gonna close this out and just add on something small to that to my clients, and it's something that I've noticed because I didn't know you when you came to my school. You went to my school. We became friends. We've even gone out. We've had lunch. We have had coffee together. Talked business. We talked marketing. We've talked advertising. We talked all kinds of things. And one of the things that I've always told my contractors, so if you have gone through my school, you know that I'm a resource to you. You can take me out to lunch. I eat lunch every day. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. I'll help you. I'll give you my 2 cents. And if it's helpful, then great, because I'm in it to win it with you. I don't want you to feel like just someone who went through our school and then you're done. The other thing is this, let's say that you are, something happens, you're struggling, you have a difficulty. You can call me. If I got some good advice, I'll give it to you. But here's the other thing. If you're not a licensed contractor, come into our school and get licensed through our school. And if you are, but you didn't go through our school, it's okay. I forgive you. It's all good. There's some great schools out there. And seriously, on a serious note, there really are some great schools out there. I think we're one of the best. And I'm not the type of person that says anything about anybody other than there's great stuff out there. In fact, if you don't even live near me and you want recommendation to a great school, I'll give you that. But here's the thing. If you want to be a part of that inner circle that has me as a resource, take one of my courses. It doesn't even have to, it could be the construction project management that just levels you up, estimation course, all that kind of stuff. And then I want to build a family of contractors that help each other, that have resources. If someone calls me up and says, hey, Alan, I need a good plumber. Oh, I got a guy. Or I have several plumbers. If he's busy, I have a couple other plumbers, If you're a flooring guy, if you're or a gal or a painter or, whatever the 40 plus different licenses that are out there of different types of trades. I want us to build something where we take care of each other. We put food on each other's plate because we're recommending each other. We're taking care of each other. We're referring people. If he comes up with someone and they say, hey, do you know anybody do my roof? He might not know a roofer, so he might call me and say, Alan, you know a good roofer? I could refer to my client. We'll do that. You know what I mean? Or go to my website, Home Pro Works, and sign up so those people could find you. But anyways, I just wanted to say that my school is different and unique, I think, because I'm trying to do everything I can. And we're not perfect. We made mistakes. But I want to benefit my clients, and I want to be in this for the long haul with them to help grow and scale. Because I know that if I help people reach their dream long enough, then my dreams are going to come true. Because you know what? All those contractors that go through my school, you got to go to Alan. You got to go to Alan. You got to go to his school. You know what? It was one of the best things that I've ever done. So I just wanted to say, Rene, I appreciate you. I appreciate your quality. I appreciate Tritek services. So really quick, last thing, what do you specialize in? What do you do? And where can they find you? Where can they get located at? Because he's going to put this on our site.
TritekServices.com. We have an office in Wildomar, and we work out of Menifee, but we specialize in service and repair, new construction, light commercial. But basically, we're a full-on plumbing, where it's drains, repiping, service and repair, add-ons, additions, which is something that I've done many years ago that I recently started doing again. But a lot of people really like to use it for our HVAC.
Okay.
We do tons and tons of installs because we're obviously an install specialist. We've got the C20 license, and myself, I've been doing air conditioning for 23 years.
Wow.
And I got a good crew set up, but when it comes to air conditioning, your heating, you want to give us a call because, we're definitely going to go out there and do everything we can to make sure that your system's working great. And if it's not working, we can get it repaired. And if it needs to be replaced, we can do that as well.
Perfect.
Without the sales.
Exactly. So guys, gals, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. Read some more stuff in the description. If you ever want to do a podcast with us, let us know. We'll vet you and get you rolling. We want to offer these services so everybody could level up, grow, scale, listen to these things while they're driving, whatever they got. But Rene, I appreciate you. Thank you for choosing my school.
You got it, brother.
I appreciate you, brother.
Always.
And I'm glad for our friendship, and we'll just keep doing it. Keep creating win-win scenarios.
It's still the beginning.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. It's just I tend to do things at my own pace, and I'm happy with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
But
thank you.
I see ourselves hitting 10 vehicles here in the next.
There you go. Come on, let's do it.
Little by little. Thank the Lord and thank the opportunity.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother. All right.
Good work, guys.
Not bad.